this is Anupam back again. Today I'm going to talk about a topic which has been popping up in our conversations pretty frequently, especially in business ones. One of my friends, he works for a manufacturer and they're struggling with the compliance of tariff and they imported a lot of copper, for the manufacturing, and then they wanted to figure out how do they stay compliant. And this is something I'm discovering is not very easy. Leave aside the profitability part uh, of the tariff changes. There's been just finding the information and getting uh, compliant itself has been a challenge. So share my screen. This is the journey which I suspect most of the organizations are having to go through. This is the US government site for tariffs, and as you can see, it's a pretty comprehensive site. There's been, I think, 15 releases this year. And then you would notice for each of the categories, they have sections, and each section has different chapters. So there's 99 different such chapters and different subsections according to materials. I was looking at the overall document. So if we download this, there is a PDF document which I can go through. It's around 4,400 pages of sections, subsections, different classification, etc. And their challenge was to stay compliant with copper imports, which has been changed to around 50% with some exemptions. So that's the information they were looking for. So if I try to stay compliant and search through this, they import copper bars. I find this section. So I know somewhere in the subheading 7407, I can find some information. So I went ahead and downloaded this subsection, and then there's different classifications according to whether we are importing bars, which is refined copper, or alloys, and what shape they are. Accordingly, the classification changes, and if you notice, the rates also change. Now, it's not very straightforward for someone who's not experienced with this to do it. Obviously there's a huge shortage of people who are experienced with this. And the other part is, a lot of times, this site tells everything as an informational site, but it doesn't help you with the usage, how you are going to use, and accordingly the classification changes. So that look, there's like a problem where we don't have information. There's not personalization of our usage, that is the company usage. And then, how do we do this in a manner which is auditable? So this should be just some justification which we can record, right? So there's two tools I'll go through. First one is the simple search-based tool. It fetches the information from that document. But let's say for this case, we are importing copper bars. So I get a filtered list as well as a word cloud for copper bars. And I know, based on my import profile, that we usually go for rectangular bars. If it is a different one, we can select from each of these words. So if I go to rectangular, I get these two options, 74 0710.50.10, which is copper bars of refined copper. If it is for alloys, it's a different code, but it filters it down. And from this, I can see that for my use case, this one is suitable for us, right? Now, there's this even simpler way where I could go in and simply type away my query. Here I can give the complete website. So this takes an outsider view, an auditor's view of who is importing what and accordingly classify. So we can be as detailed, as specific as possible about what's our usage based on the division. The part description where we are saying, we are importing copper bars, which are rectangular. And you can take, opinion from multiple agents. But right now, we'll just use one. So when I do this start request, basically it is going and parsing through each of these and trying to come up with a recommendation. So basically, based on the website, product division, the part description, it is suggesting to me a few things that our HTS code should be this with the description. Also, this is important. It is giving me the justification behind it, where if this product is described in copper bars with a rectangular shape, which matches the STS classification on this state. So this is something which should be recorded along with the classification in your ERP or GTS system, so that tomorrow if there's an audit, you have the reasoning behind it. And there's some other remarks which it gives. So what it is doing is basically it knows your business, the specific part which you are importing, as well as is aware of not only your product but also what's the justification behind the classification recommendation. Just one more thing, I tried using the search feature which the HTS site maintains, but looks like there are times when this is down, so we could not go through it. But from whatever I have looked at, it is basically pretty much searching through this kind of information, and we have to have experts who can decode this if we go to the website. I would recommend using this tool. I'll drop the link for this tool, as well as using the simple search feature to do a Google-like search. All right, I hope you find this useful.